If you're a dog owner here in Jonesboro, you've come to the right place. We're going to walk you through everything you need to know to find and choose the perfect professional dog trainer for you and your furry friend with total confidence. So, here's our plan. We'll start with why training specifically for life in Jonesboro matters. Then we'll get into how to understand different trainers and their methods. After that, we'll look at program types and what they cost locally, give you a solid pre-hire checklist, and finally, point you to some great local parks to practice everything you've learned. All right, let's jump right into Section 1. We're talking about training for how you actually live here in Jonesboro and why that local context really matters. I mean, think about it. What's the goal here? It's having a dog who can just handle life with you. A dog that can walk calmly through Craghead Forest Park, even with all the distractions. One that can sit nicely on a patio downtown while you grab a bite, or stay focused and relaxed, even with all the energy around the ASU campus. That's what practical, real-world training gets you. So, knowing what you want to achieve is the first part. The second is finding the right person to help you get there. Let's move on and decode the world of trainers and their methods so you know what to look for. The method you're going to hear about most often, and for good reason, is positive reinforcement. It's pretty simple, really. It's all about rewarding the behavior you want to see again. We're talking treats, a favorite toy, or just some good old-fashioned praise. This makes learning fun for your dog and builds a really strong, trusting bond between you two.
Okay, here in Arkansas, trainers aren't actually required to have a license. So how do you know who's legit? Well, these certifications are a huge green flag. They show that a trainer has put in the work and is committed to their education. A CPD TKA, for example, is great for general training. But if you're dealing with more serious stuff like fear or aggression, seeing something like an IAABC, CBDC, or CBC CKA tells you they have specialized expertise.
So you have a better idea of the methods and credentials to look for. Let's get into the practical side of things in Section 3, the kinds of programs available and what you can expect to pay right here in the Jonesboro area. You'll generally see two main options, group classes and private lessons. Group classes are awesome for socialization, getting your dog comfortable around other dogs and people, and they're usually easier on the wallet. The trade-off is you get less one-on-one time. Private lessons, on the other hand, are totally customized to your dog's needs and can tackle issues that only pop up at home. They do cost more per session, though. And to give you a ballpark idea, here's a look at some typical local costs for 2025. You can see a series of group classes might run you a couple $100. Private lessons are priced per session, and then you have bigger investments, like a board and train program, which can run into the thousands. This just helps you set a realistic budget for what you're hoping to achieve. Okay, you know about methods, you know about costs. Now it's your turn to do a little homework. For Section 4, we're giving you a checklist of essential questions to ask and some local rules to know before you hire anyone. Before you commit to a trainer, you absolutely need to ask these 4 questions. Make sure you're comfortable with their methods. Ask about their certifications. Understand exactly how they'll tailor a plan for your specific dog. And of course, get a clear breakdown of all costs and policies. Any true professional will be happy to answer these for you. Speaking of rules, here's a big one in Jonesboro. 6 feet. That's the maximum length for your dog's leash in any public area that isn't specifically marked as an off-leash zone. It's a simple rule, but it's all about keeping everyone safe and comfortable. And here are a few other key rules for every dog owner to know. State law requires a current rabies vaccination for all dogs over 3 months old. It's also good to know that excessive barking can actually be a nuisance violation in the city. And while Jonesboro doesn't make you get a separate pet license, you do have to make sure that rabies tag is on your dog and up to date. So, you've found your trainer, you're learning all these great new skills. Now for the fun part, putting it all into practice. In this last section, let's look at some fantastic local spots to do just that. Jonesboro has some perfect real-world classrooms for you and your pup. The Joe Mack Campbell Dog Park is a safe, fenced-in space that's ideal for working on recall. The trails at Craghead Forest Park, they're excellent for practicing loose leash walking with plenty of real distractions. And if you need a quieter spot to work on the basics like sit and stay, Parker Park is a great choice. You know, this is really what it all comes down to. When you invest in the right training, your dog becomes a confident and happy companion. That makes your life together so much more enjoyable. Whether you're just hanging out at home, visiting with friends, or out enjoying everything Jonesboro has to offer. We wish you the very best of luck on your training journey.